If you're entertained by such antics, you're definitely a fan of Korean entertainment. Welcome to Mr. Go channel. Welcome to Homogenisation and Hybridization in entertainment. We are talking about two major influences, the American and the Korean. So, the presence or proliferation of foreign entertainment, especially in television, film, music, radio, some say Netflix, reflect the acceptance of foreign cultural influence. And they have been resistant to this foreign entertainment, of course, because some see it as the subtle influence from U.S.A. So, these responses arise from the attempt to protect the local entertainment industry because we do not want our own TV channel closing down, as well as perhaps our own local content producers. So this local influence will be protected from the influence of foreign cultures. For example, local culture can also influence foreign cultures, such as in The Amazing Race, which is a very popular US reality show. They actually feature Phua Chu Kang when the contestant came to Singapore in this case. So this can result in hybridization of local and foreign cultures, where we have entertainment products featuring both foreign cultures and local cultures. Let's talk about American influence. American entertainment companies, they generate close to 30% of worldwide entertainment revenue, which means their movies, films, books, and whatsoever have a vast influence over the rest of the world and their values as well. So American films dominate the box office of more than 150 countries, such as the Marvel Avengers. And in the film industry, it's a major provider of entertainment seen in millions of homes around the world. It is very rare to see someone who is not exposed to American films. So the reaction to this American influence in the media is that some applaud the spread of American culture through entertainment. They argue that American messages of freedom and individuality in their entertainment can actually empower consumers to develop their identities so that they will go out and buy. That's right. While others actually hate it, they did not welcome it, they burn it. So their perception of American influence is threatening their own local culture and their language and local entertainment industry. Can you imagine Singapore? We have a potpourri of languages, including dialects such as Hokkien and Teochew. So can you imagine if American films were to use it? It will probably be a token and no better than a verbal costume.
If you don't speak Chinese, here's what he allegedly said. 炸酱面
打蛋面
2个葱油饼
2个葱油饼
青葱烧龙虾
青葱烧龙虾
千万不要给我味精
Perhaps our dialect will be gone if we are left with just American films. Let's take a look at a case study of France. France is actually concerned with American films dominating the European film industry on numerous occasions. This concern actually extends to other foreign cultures as well, not just American films. And in Singapore, we do have our films, but nobody sees it as a threat because they are few and far in between. But American films are perhaps everywhere. So they can actually restrict them. They place this on foreign media to make sure that they do not dominate the entertainment industry in France. And 40% of television programs must be in French. So if you're not in French, I'm sorry, you cannot broadcast it. Television programs of non-European origins cannot exceed 40% of the programs shown in the country. And this is important because this number, 40%, is the magical number. So they ensure they do not dominate. So there will be some remnants of French programs. Let's take another look at China. In 2014, they actually placed restriction to restrict the annual limit to 34 foreign films that can be imported. There can be periodic cultural blackout days where foreign films could not be shown. So this is especially relevant to their own culture, where they want China films to be shown. And this limit of 34 films is carefully selected. I mean, some films will not be selected if they place China or perhaps Asian culture in a bad light.
Movies have altered their storylines to appease Chinese censors, sometimes in drastic ways. For example, Disney co-produced Iron Man 3 with Chinese company DMG Entertainment Group as part of a strategy to ensure entry and higher profits in the Chinese market. The Chinese version of Iron Man 3 even had several extra minutes of footage that included a subplot filmed in Beijing. It involved characters played by two popular Chinese actors, Fang Bingbing and Wang Xueqi, doing surgery on Tony Stark. And remember, kids, nothing keeps doctors healthy like Guli Duo milk. Anyway, Disney's China plan worked. The film made more than $100 million at the Chinese box office.
And most importantly, let's take a look. Foreign cultures and local culture, they do have an influence on each other. This is quite dynamic and they can be seen through the hybridization of American product, a result of fusion of local and American influences. Perhaps even in films where they copy each other's technique, and especially local producers, they will copy some of the techniques from Hollywood. So the benefits is that there is global success of such production shows that many people do consume and enjoy American products. And when say such production, we're referring to localized product where we contain global and local products that are hybridized. The disadvantage that there will always be tension because people question the consequences of such a dominant American culture, and over time perhaps the reduction of local influence and local culture, and that could be quite worrying. Let's take a look at a case study of Kung Fu Panda. So what aspect of Chinese culture and heritage are being shown in this video, and what would the depiction on this anger the Chinese people?
In a land of tradition and honor, one Kung Fu master, let's get started, has trained 5 of the greatest warriors the world has ever known. But this master's biggest challenge has just arrived.
I'm coming!
What do you think of Kung Fu Panda? Is it a positive or negative influence now? In 2008, I actually caused to boycott this film because the Chinese find it offensive. This is an inaccurate portrayal of Chinese culture, such as perhaps Panda, which is a national treasure, being portrayed as someone or some creature who is greedy for buns. And the Western depiction of China culture demonstrates there's a struggle between states to capitalize on cultural icons such as Panda, China national animal, and Kung Fu, which is one of the most popular martial arts form. That is something that is worth considering, because if you look at the actual depiction of martial arts or Kung Fu as well as Panda, is it restricted to what is being shown in the film? So if other people from other nations see this film, would that be an accurate depiction of China? And Chinese activists dubbed the production of this film as an attempt of the West to undermine China national treasure, which is the panda. So Panda is seen as fat, cute, and loves to eat. Is that the only depiction? That's the question. Next, we have Korean influences, part 2. Since the mid-2000s, we have dominance from the South Korean entertainment industry. They grew. This is called the Korean wave or Hallyu. Evidence of the Korean waves they spread and dominance can be seen in the rise of Korean pop music, or some say K-pop. And what you're looking at is perhaps the second wave. There are a number of waves, and by now there should be the 4th wave. But for now, let's see what music is this. So in this case, you have guessed it, it's BTS. So if you cannot guess what music it is, probably you have not been exposed to it. And if you have been exposed to it, probably you have a very good idea what a popular group that has worldwide fans. Next, today's K-pop groups are actually getting fan bases from Asia, Europe, and even America themselves. They are being influenced by other countries. Remember Hybridization? So Blackpink is one famous group, and you should totally know them. And if you don't know them, then you must have shut down. Next, we talk about Gangnam Style, one of the most popular music that hits the scene. And the question is, how and why was Gangnam Style successful in taking the world by storm? You can actually refer to the article below and answer the following questions in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Next, we have Descendents of the Sun. At one point, it was so popular, it gained international popularity, and it was eventually exported to 30 countries. Means they feel that this will appeal to their audience in their country, including China and Japan. And its presence in Asia is unprecedented. Internet streaming and quick subbing brought the drama to English-speaking audiences. Obviously, not everyone will learn how to speak the Korean language. By having the subtitles below, it really brings the film to life, and the audience will be able to make meaning out of the entire film.
비켜요.
비킬 겁니다. 오해 푸시면요.
See the subtitle below?
선생님의 환자가 제 동료의 핸드폰을 훔쳐가는 바람에 우린 그 핸드폰을 찾으러 온 거고.
네, 112죠. 여기 해성병원 응급. 주세요, 핸드폰.
Next case study is on Running Man. We talk about Korean films, drama, and reality programs. They actually become part of the staple in free-to-air and satellite television in countries beyond Asia, including the Middle East. And one of the most popular show is Running Man is ranked number 9 in 2016 under 20 most popular TV shows of all time. And this has a particular reason, especially with the subtitle and the comedic cast. And on the right side, you see Yoo Jae-suk, the host and perhaps one of the most famous comedian coming from South Korea. It joined the top 10 ranking by popular TV shows like Games of Thrones and The Walking Dead and Stranger Things, coming from the Western culture. And due to their vast popularity, they conduct annual fan meets across Asia because their fans would like to meet them, and this will further boost their popularity. Let's take a look at an example.
틀렸어. 힘이 안 된다. 힘이 안 된다. 큰일 날 뻔했어. 뒤에 카메라 있었어. 형, 뒤에 카메라 있었어.
Alright, so you can see without the subtitles, perhaps you will be able to understand this, perhaps from the physical comedy, but with the subtitle, it actually brings a new meaning, especially with the different colored subtitles appearing here and there and everywhere. So we talk about Korean influence in Singapore. The Korean wave in Singapore can be seen through the popularity of many products associated with Korea, I mean South Korea, from the cosmetic to food and electronic products. And these retail experts, they attribute this boom to the familiarity of South Korean products due to the influx of Korean programs on television, and especially their food as well. And we talk about Samsung S22 Ultra, that is a famous product from South Korea, from Samsung, the company. And we have face masks and Lanier, which come from South Korea, and Samyang noodles, the very spicy noodles. And if you have tasted before, well, good luck to your taste bud. And if you haven't tasted before, let this be a warning to your taste buds. So the reaction to South Korean influence, or the Korean wave, or the Korean influence, they actually face some resistance because they perceive this is the invasion of Korean culture. And their political reason, because the hell you ban in China. First, to the Korean-US relationship, because South Korea actually has a very thriving relationship with the US. They are in fact business partners and military partners as well. So by allying themselves with America, China feel that South Korea could be a potential threat to them because they are allied with America. In addition, there are tensions rising with Korea as well, especially with North and South Korea, their relationship, and the 2017 impeachment of the president Park Geun-hye. There you go. Let's take another look at Japan. In August 2011, thousands of Japanese protesters rallied in front of the headquarters of Fuji Television, which is a Japanese TV network, and they expressed unhappiness with the increasing presence of Korean programs in the network daily broadcast because they feel pride in their own Japanese program, and why would they watch South Korean programs? And this also stems from a deteriorating public perception of Korea because there is rising tension between these two nations over territorial disputes, and there is also political tension between these two countries. Despite this, Korea's cultural products still remain relatively popular in Japan. And that's it for the second part. Thank you very much and have a good day. Stay tuned to the last part where we explore about food.